We here at Mayhem Media
understand the trials and tribulations of life.
No matter how hard life can get.
Suicide is never the answer.
There's more assistance available today than ever before.
If you or a loved one are suffering from suicidal thoughts, please don't try and take it on alone.
Call or text 988 if you live in the U.S.
Or if you're in Great Britain, call 116123 or text 85258.
The world is a better place with you in it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to After the Dragon, presented by Mayhem Media. I am your host, the bad guy of podcasting, JD, along with my co-host for this series, for this season, JediThorist. And make sure you go check him out on YouTube. Just search for JediThorist 98, and you can also find him on Facebook. What an episode last week, dude. We were talking about what we were expected going into the next one a little bit, and we weren't even close. I don't think either one of us were close last week. Maybe with a few things, but I tell you what, I wasn't expecting to see Otto Hightower.
That took me off guard.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen last week's episode, please don't watch right now.
Yeah.
But Otto Hightower losing his head. Definitely didn't expect that. I didn't expect her to actually take King's Landing. I thought for sure we were gonna have a battle or lose a dragon, or like it would come at some other cost again.
I did too.
I didn't think Alicent and Helena would get stuck in the city and that they would move too late. A lot of that stuff I did not expect.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Rhaenyra, she didn't go as quite nuclear as me and you would have thought, but
That's true.
But you can definitely see that there's a change. I don't think she's no longer sitting on the fence of, oh, I don't know if I can do it, between that and, hey, stuff's getting real. You need to step up. You need to do what you need to do as queen. And man, hey, what about Dagon?
Dagon?
Yeah.
Damon.
What is it?
Damon?
Yeah.
Her husband.
Yes.
Yeah, he's perfect for this.
He was phenomenal.
Dude, did you get to the episode 1 called The Rogue Prince, in season 1?
Not yet. Okay.
Once you watch that, you're going to understand why Matt Smith, the actor who plays Daemon Targaryen, this is not his first kind of like episode that he steals, in my opinion. So, and I also love that he knew that she was struggling. I love that he didn't go for the power. Yes. He actually did buy in with that vision that he had earlier in last season, when he had the vision last season. This might be stuff that you didn't know about yet, but before he had a vision last season with Alice Rivers, who is like a warlock or a witch in the Game of Thrones universe, and he has the vision of Daenerys. He doesn't know who she is or like the specific events. He just has the vision. And it's the first time he believes the prophecy that his brother always spoke of. You know, he always dismissed it as ridiculous. And now that he's bought in, he really has bought in. And I think this was that first test to see, has he really, or is he just, again, biding his time like Damon does? But he did not go for the power, even when beheading Otto Hightower. What did he do? He drew Dark Sister, the Valyrian steel sword.
Right.
He knew it was going to be sharper. It was going to be much, much easier to make the kill. And he let her use it. He didn't just pull it out and take Otto's head the way he did Lord Corlys's brother. He let the queen do it, and he let her ascend to the throne. Like, he has totally bought in, and that makes the two of them together very dangerous.
Powerhouse. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking the whole time. I can't remember her name. She was the one talking to Damon before he went in to talk with
was it his daughter?
Yeah, she was talking. No, is she a servant? Is she like a servant?
Yeah, the white worm. Yeah, the white worm. I'm totally drawing a blank on her name right this second, but absolutely I know who you're talking about.
Okay, so before he went in to talk to what's her name? I keep getting her and that other name. No, it's not Rhaenyra. With the queen, I keep getting their two names mixed up.
Allison?
Queen Rhaenyra.
Yeah, and Rhaena?
Yeah, Rhaena. That's another point I like to bring up here in a second.
Oh, okay. Figure out who you're talking about first, because I'm just trying.
Rhaenyra, the queen. Whenever before he went in to talk to her, he talked to the servant, the white worm, is what you said.
Yeah, I'm looking up her name right now.
Okay. But right at the end of that conversation, she was like, "Not everything's about you, Damon." And he kind of like had that look as if was like, "Dang, you're right, kinda."
Yeah,
I would go as far to say in a nutshell that Damon was showing some compassion. And that, I don't know, that was a little weird.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying when they had their exchange there. Yeah. Before he goes in to talk to Queen Rhaenyra to help her. Yeah. And her name is what did I just say? Misandra? Missaria. And that's who, and she's definitely going to be an intricate part. I'm not sure where she's at yet. And like I said, real quick before we move on to another topic that I want to talk about, and that's getting off of the books. That's where we're going to go next. But before we go there, how about Rhaenyra's portrayal, the actress who plays her, Emma Darcy? How about her portrayal with the whole scene with Jace? Like, oh my dude, when she came in and then she started talking to him. Yeah. Like when she said, what have you done? It wasn't clear to me at that point. Like, I'm like, she's got to be talking to her advisors. Like, look at what you've done. And then she says, Jace. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly thought for sure she was going to burn down King's Landing. But I guess that would have been too on the nose from Game of Thrones, I guess. But that she did that scene so good. And I was actually watching the podcast about that follows House of the Dragon, which is kind of what we do. They have a little more inside information because they get to have the actors and the actresses on their show.
Right.
But I watched the podcast following that episode, and that scene was actually supposed to be much more. Like, she was actually supposed to beat on Jace's chest, like get violent, like angry, like violently angry with Jace's corpse. Of course, they wanted to use the actual actor and not just like this dummy that wouldn't look the part. So they had to tone it back. They couldn't have her beating on on the guy who plays Jace. So they actually had to scale that back a little bit from what they had in the script.
Yeah, but if you ask me, I don't know.
Harry Collett. That's the actor's name who plays Jace. Sorry to interrupt you. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good. For me, I don't know. I thought. See, you tell me that now, but in my opinion, I feel like it worked out better because it looked like she was trying to hold herself back. Like, don't, like he's like, don't hit your son.
Also, yeah, that too. Also, I like the way she kind of picked him up too. Like instead of beating on him, she kind of actually like tried to pick
It's
him
like,
up.
like cradle him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. That I thought. I don't know that you'd got that scene with if you'd have kept it, the
Right.
beating on his chest and stuff. So, J Max tuning in. Thank you very much, J Mac, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Even though you're not really a fan of the show, we appreciate you tuning in and dropping a comment. Maybe we'll make him a fan. Who knows? I don't know.
Hey, yeah.
So what else was there about that episode?
The knight. I will say, I didn't expect him to just I have that much. What do I say? Honor in it and be like, I messed up here. My life's forfeit. And and I also got to give Rhaenyra her props for turning around and being like, what good would that do? I was for sure she was going to do it.
Yeah. Yes. Me too. But I thought it was interesting because I mean she's absolutely right. So that just shows that she, even while she was like in despair, she was still thinking about the overall thing. And plus, I think she was so disgusted, with herself, with everything. I think she was just so disgusted with everything. She didn't really, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was such a great scene. There's another scene. I don't have a visual for it. But it was Lord Corlys. We know he's alive still. And what I want to bring this up for it, I really wish I would have got the screenshot for it, but it was him and all of his one of his grandchildren and his two bastard sons. It was a complete family picture of it. 2 dragon riders, 2 people who do better on the ship at sea, 2 sailors, 2 dragon riders. I thought it was such a great scene in that episode.
It was.
Okay, let's talk about where we've gone completely off book. And I think we talked a little bit about it in the last episode because we actually saw Jace die in the previous episode. So, but I just want to bring that up again, that the way Jace died with Sheep Stealer and stuff is not the way it's written in the books. Okay. From what I understand, she claims one of the other dragons. If I'm not mistaken, I lost my link for where that piece of information was. It's been a hard week. I lost power last night and been without power today and internet for several hours over the last 24 hours. So the fact that we're even getting this put on right now, because JediThorist had stuff to take care of this afternoon personally too. So, but that's one thing where they're really off the books is Jace's death and her being involved. That's a big thing off the book. So, and I'm not sure about Otto Hightower. I'm not sure if he dies yet or anything like that. But the only other thing that I want to bring up, and then we can talk a little bit more about some other stuff in the episode, is that, of course, now she's down her 2 eldest sons. Her youngest or her next oldest son, who I'm totally don't have a name for him, Joffrey. And he has the dragon Taraxes. We haven't seen Taraxes yet, except maybe he might be one of the little dragons we've seen when they showed her children going off. So, but he's very young. And while time is relative in Game of Thrones, you never know how much time passes between one episode and the next. Really, short of them aging the characters up, which is unprecedented in a television show, or a birth of some kind is really the only way to be able to track out what time has passed. So he's very young yet. So they're down while she picked up more dragon raiders. She has lost her 2 most loyal dragon riders and likely 2 of her best diplomats as well.
Yeah.
What else? Where else do you want to go with it? What else you got?
Um,
Hell no. I think that's in response. J-Mac responding, hell no. I believe that's in response to maybe he's going to become a fan if he keeps tuning in.
I don't know, man. I recommend it.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you're watching right now, leave us a comment. If there's a question you have or something you'd like us to discuss, please feel free to do so.
What do you think? What do you think Rhaenyra is gonna do to Rhaena?
Yeah,
because she went on the run and landed in the Vale with Sheep Stealer,
yeah.
and she got turned away.
Yeah,
But yeah, she got turned away. But at the same time, Janie.
I can't remember the lady of the veil, but I kind of yeah. She kind of said, "Well, I can't stop a dragon from doing what it wants." So I think that was her kind of saying, "No, I won't tell that you're here. What could I do if I didn't want you here anyway?" But yeah, that's interesting. Her requesting asylum instead of just going home and dealing with it. She does have a dragon that makes her valuable, and she's going to need someone, I think, to help her figure it out. If not, a lot more people or livestock are going to die if she's going to figure this out, how to handle this dragon on her own. You know what I mean?
Right. Like she's I don't know. She was like kind of like, excuse me, in between of, yeah, you can't come in here. You just caused the death of the prince, dude. But at the same time, it's like, can I really afford to let all this power go to waste?
Yeah, she made a mistake, and that's that's the root of a lot of the problems in Game of Thrones. Someone makes a mistake, and they don't think about just facing it, then they try and hide, and that usually compounds the problem. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe she'll be a defector for all we know. I don't think so, but I'm not sure where that's going. That's the only part that I'm really unsure of. I don't know where that's going.
Yeah.
I really have no idea. And also Alicent and Helena. I'm very curious tonight to see where they're going to be going and what happens with them.
Yeah.
Is Rhaenyra just going to let them go? Is she going to just take them off the board? Remember, Helena is a dragon rider.
Right. So I don't want to jump the gun too much because that part's kind of right towards the end of it. But where she walks in and she sees Hightower dead.
Yeah.
And she's like looking up at her, and then at first I see because it's closing in on Rhaenyra's face, and you see her, and she's like, "Oh crap." But like right before it closes out, you can see her face just kind of shift down to like, nah.
Yeah,
this
you see her gaze.
I did it.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if she says I did it. Oh
No,
yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Yeah, that's I think is where we'll pick up with that this week. I think that would literally with that scene is where I expect the episode to pick up. Hey, Wolfman, shout out Wolfman. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate you. You just need to become a House of the Dragon fan and a Game of Thrones fan, buddy, and you can join us on these episodes. I also don't know if we're going to see Darren. I didn't get the other visual. I have another visual that shows there's some speculation online about this being Darren, but earlier in this episode, and now we're talking not last week, but 2 weeks ago now, okay, that they show another blonde-haired kind of just person like who's waiting on other knights and stuff. I'm totally drawing a blank on what they're called. What's the assistant to a knight? I am totally drawing a blank on that. Holy cow. All right. So sorry, everybody. But anyway, there's a blonde-haired one, and the speculation is that this is the real one. The red-haired one is the real one, and the blonde-haired one is a decoy.
You know what? I'm gonna Squire. See, yeah,
Squire, there you
I
go.
don't know what. Yeah,
No, that's the right word, Squire.
Yeah,
That's exactly
yeah.
what I'm saying. Oh, wow. I see J-Mac just said, thank you, J-Mac, for Squire. I don't know
yeah.
why I couldn't think of that word.
I couldn't either. I'll say this. I don't. I feel like something. I feel like they're gonna wait closer to the end of the season
Before we know,
before they reveal him, because I feel like they're gonna have because I feel like before that point, I feel like we're gonna get another buildup of some kind, and then there's gonna be another drop, and I feel like that drop could be something really big is gonna happen, and then Darren comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, what?
that's possible. And yeah, that's very possible. Now I want to bring something up. Team Green is almost all but defeated, with the exception of roughly 35,000 high towers and Darren Targaryen. Obviously, we also saw Aemond get after he took Harrenhal arrogantly
Yep.
tells the family to pick up weapons. So he's taking his time disemboweling the father or taking his head off. I can't remember which it was. And one of the other sons actually picks up a knife and
It kills him.
in the back. Look like a kidney shot, right? And then he doesn't realize it, and he falls asleep, and he's at mercy of the witch. Now the witch, we know, wanted Harrenhal. That's what she demanded from Daemon, who pretty much laughed at her. So will she try and broker something with Aemond? Maybe. I do expect that she'll save him for whatever reason. She seems to be I don't want to say a pawn, but an instrument in deciding what's going on. And then we also mentioned it 2 episodes ago when the witch came to Rhaenyra's other 3 dragon riders and said, "Your queen's in trouble. She needs you." Before that, there was a flash of like a person who looked like a tree. And I'm not going to get into that. We're going to save that for the next episode because I want to see if we're actually going to see them again in this episode or maybe the next one. But we will talk about that point also at some point. They're like a mystical kind of a creature that exists with the God's Wood, I believe is what it is. So that's something. We'll see if it comes back. I don't want to. If it's just like a little throwback to something that's in the books, then you know what I mean. It's not where we likely won't see it again. But if they're gonna put it in here, then I'm hoping we'll see it again and we actually get a little show explanation as to what it is.
Right.
All right. So I think we pretty much talked about everything. We actually did it pretty fast tonight. Aemond at Harrenhal. He's wounded. We'll see. Oh, that's what I was saying. Team Green's all but beat except for the troops. Aemond is severely wounded. Darren is really the only dragon rider they have left. Even if you count Helena as a dragon rider, she's now in King's Landing with Rhaenyra.
Right.
So, and of course, we know Daemon had the Kingsguard. The Kingsguard was the same, was most of the people he recruited. So they sided with Daemon. So really, Team Green is almost all defeated. I'm very curious to see what is going to happen over this episode and the next episode. I'm just very curious to see where it's going to go.
Okay, so where do you think Aegon is going? Because I forgot about him because he took off.
He should he should be taken. Oh yeah, that's right. He did take off. He's not captured.
Well, yeah, they got captured in there, and then the remnants of the battle from the ocean.
Yeah,
the people, they were killing each other, and they killed the prisoner convoy, the drivers, and they got out. And Aegon took off.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's going, and I do suspect that we'll find that out, and I do suspect that we may find out because there's been a lot of online speculation about his Sunfire really dead, his dragon. I mean, he survived. There's no reason to think that he or she, I'm sorry, I don't know what Sunfire is, may have also survived. So we will see about that.
Because I won't say a big build up, but I don't know. I kind of see another kind of a little build up going on.
Yeah, we just had We just had what 2 or 3 major battles happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because like Aegon, he's like, all right, bet I'm going out. I'm going back. And then Rhaenyra's like, hey, Damon, you take some guys and go hunt them down. So I don't know. That's kind of got me thinking like, how are they gonna set that up? Because they're gonna have to show both sides setting up something.
Yeah, I'm not sure where.
Because they're both going at each other.
Yeah, I'm not
Technically.
sure where the next like battle scene is, and I don't know that Aegon's going back to King's Landing now that was able to escape. I don't know that he's doing that. Maybe, but I don't know. And I think we'll hear reference to the search for Aegon, but I don't think we'll see that resolved yet. Maybe a season finale. Maybe season finale that resolves itself or comes to a head, if you will. But I don't expect that for likely a couple of episodes at least, I would think.
Yeah. How do you Corliss?
Corliss.
Him and his son. Him talking to his son, saying, "Well, I don't have anything else but to offer you but my name."
Yeah.
And he's like, he says something to the effect of, "Funny how I value that 50 times more than gold," or something like that. And
Yeah.
I was like, yes. So I was like, okay, so they're coming together now.
Yeah. And I want to point this out too to everybody. And spoiler alert, if you're still watching, okay. And JediThorist, maybe I shouldn't with you here, but this is going to be a little spoiler alert for when you watch Game of Thrones, okay? We likely saw his 2 bastard sons and his granddaughter. We know the other one's a fugitive. We're likely seeing the end of House Valerion with that scene. I mean, not that they're gone yet, but like these 4 are the last of House Valerion.
Right.
So there's a reason we don't. There is a reason there's no House Valerion in Game of Thrones. There's a reason there's no real House Hightower in Game of Thrones. So just spoiler alert. Hopefully you heard that before I actually said the stuff. But yeah, I'm very excited for this episode, and I'm really curious how they're going to handle some of this. You know, how much do we get through in an episode? That's always my biggest question.
Right.
You know, are we going to get all our questions answered? No, probably not. So how much will we get is what I'm curious to see. I'm excited to see what's going on and the next move, as you were saying, the next move for a lot of people.
Right. I will say, I think in this next episode, I'm going to be interested in everything, but really what I'm really interested in is seeing how the conversation is going to go between Rhaenyra and the sister,
Allison.
Yeah.
Allison and Helena.
Yeah. I want to see that I want to see how that conversation is going to go.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't even know how to speculate at that. I wouldn't even know how to speculate.
I don't think it's going to be good.
I hope it picks up. That's where I remember how I've been kind of saying where I want certain episodes to start. That's where I want this episode to start, right there.
Yeah.
At the very end of the last episode, just pick right up with them walking in.
Yeah, and me personally, I'm hoping to see Rhaenyra absolute just boss handle it, just straight up. I don't regret it. This is how it is. This is what it's gonna be.
Maybe.
Because I honestly at this point is because she's like, y'all have killed my son.
2 of them.
Not meaning that. Yeah, 2 of them. Twice. Yeah, y'all killed my son. Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's not happening a third time. That's what I'm hoping to see.
Yeah, we'll see. But like I said, Team Green's really on the ropes right now, so we'll see how that unfolds. If you know anything about the books or the Game of Thrones lore beyond just the base show, and they even reference what we're watching in Game of Thrones. They reference the eldest Baratheon, Stannis Baratheon's daughter, actually talks about one of the books she's reading. It's called A Dance of Dragons, and she actually talks about some of the stuff that we are going to see. And we already have seen. She actually talks about a certain, like a rider and the dragon they did, and she talks about the events of it. It's like a brief, like a just a quick thing, but it's enough to be like, oh, okay. So we're pretty much watching those events that were referenced unfold right now, and I'm really curious to see. So I know how it's going to end, and likely some of our viewers do also. But I'm curious in the details and how we get there. That's what I'm curious about right now.
I agree with that. I'm curious to see, because I don't know how it's going to end, but I'm curious to see what twists they're going to do and try to like catch people off guard from what they're like, kind of change it up from the books. I'm curious to see what they do.
Yeah, I'm not so much on that, but they already have done that a little bit. So yeah, I mean, actually, like I said in the last episode, the whole events with Jason stuff, that was a big event, and there's been a couple other things that took us off, especially like the dragon egg scene. I don't know, you probably didn't make it to that in season 1 yet either. When she sends her kids away, she sends them away, and 4 dragon eggs go with them, and 3 of those are at least hinted at in the episode to be the ones that Daenerys hatches some 100 and odd years later. So I've seen conflicting reports. Some people are saying, and I haven't gotten to look it up myself yet, but I've heard some people say that is the way it happened, and other people saying, no, that's not the way it happened, that her eggs came from somewhere else. So I haven't looked it up yet, but there's also been that too. So either way, they're changing a few things to reference the show or for whatever other reason that we don't know yet.
Okay.
And of course, Game of Thrones is completely off the wall. So whenever we get through whenever we get through House of the Dragon, bro, and you want to watch through some of the Game of Thrones, we'll do like a Game of Thrones in relation to After the Dragon or to the House of the Dragon kind of episode. But it's the House of the Dragons went way off book. That's not all their fault. George R.R. Martin hadn't finished the last book at the time they were doing that series, so
that's fair.
Yeah. But all right, I think we got about less than 20 minutes now till the episode's going to start. I know you have kids, and it's also 125 degrees here in Pennsylvania, so I need to try and cool off a little bit before I try and sit and watch TV. And I know you got kiddos, so I'm sure you gotta handle that. Do you watch it live, or do you just watch the recording like later tonight or tomorrow or something?
Whenever it goes up on HBO.
You watch it live then when it comes out?
If it's on HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah, then yeah. I'm gonna be watching it live.
All right, cool. Well, I'm also going to be watching, and tune in next week. We might keep it at 8 o'clock. We'll see what our schedules are. It'll either be at 8 o'clock or at 3 o'clock on Sundays. Those are our 2 time slots right now that we're going with. So look for us at 3 or 8 next week, and we will recap the episode that's about to come on in just a few minutes. Check out JediThorist on YouTube and in Facebook, and I'll make sure the description there's nothing in the description of this episode, just so you know, bro. I'll add it later on this week, but right now, to get this going, it was all I could to just get the studio set up so that we could go live.
Right.
So right now there's nothing in the description, but I will add his information as well as our own in the description of the videos of these episodes. So make sure you go check them out. Hit that subscribe button. Marcus Fredrickson does the music. ReverbNation.com/Marcus Fredrickson. And I think that's pretty much it. Anything for you?
No. Let's have a good episode, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see you guys next week. Until then, I'm your host, JD, and that's the end.